Hello and welcome back to The Unexplained. Today we are going to be investigating ancient civilizations, specifically those in the Amazon rainforest. Not so long ago, an ancient discovery on a large hill in the Amazon rainforest called the Monte Grande was unearthed. This civilization was once lost to time, but has a rich and sophisticated culture filled with mysterious ritual sacrifices and unexplained architecture. This surprising find was initially discovered by farmers working the area. They discovered shards of old pots, which they soon learned were thousands of years old, along with some burial sites. The farmers' home soon became an archaeological dig. In 2010, archaeologist Quirino Oliveira and his team started digging in the Monte Grande hill, and soon discovered that they were excavating wasn't a hill at all, it was a massive pyramid, built by a forgotten civilization in the Amazon rainforest, and it was over 3,000 years old, predating any existence of civilization in that region up to that point. For the first time was hard proof that ancient civilizations had thrived in the Amazon rainforest. Up until recently, it had been believed that the Amazon itself was a place few dared to tread due to its vast size and isolation. Discoveries like this are changing the history as we know it. Now it's believed that, at its peak, there may have been as many as 5 million people living in the Amazon rainforest. They built civilization and cultures that are completely forgotten to time. Archaeologists have since learnt that they had an incredibly sophisticated society. They didn't just build one pyramid and leave. The first one was built in 1000 BC, and they rebuilt it at least 8 times, adapting it to their needs. Before they mysteriously vanished, they had lived in that one spot for 1000 years. Large walls were found to protect their town from other tribes, and buildings where rulers governed their society, much like our leaders today. They built a grid of homes across the riverbank and even had an elaborate religion of their own. They had industry with trade that stretched across far and wide. All of these findings are enough to give an incredible glimpse into their religion, culture and engineering. But just 1 mile away from Monte Grande, the researchers found a second pyramid telling a far darker tale. Buried in the second pyramid were the remains of 22 children. Many of their bones showed signs of malnutrition and sickness, and it seems that they were withering away when they died. They were most probably brought here by the shamans to die away from the healthy adults. The shamans of the town wouldn't cure them. The children brought here weren't helped. They were made into human sacrifices, it was later found out. The bones of the children appeared to have been brutalised. One site shows a woman with her newborn child, both decapitated. A little further along are the bones of the priest who sacrificed them all. The archaeologists call him the Lord of the Snails. He must have been important as he was the most glamorous burial site that they found. He was buried covered from head to toe in 180 snail shells. His face is also looking up to the east, towards the rising sun. Pretty creepy, huh? The shamans were believed to have participated in recreational drug use and basically perfected recipes for serious trips in their sacrifices. Perhaps they believed it would elevate them closer to their god or gods, but it definitely had an effect on their building and architecture. The remarkable unearthing here is called Ancient Coil at Monte Grande, and it's believed to be a vision inspired by the use of hallucinogenic drugs. The ritual use of psychotropic drugs in the Amazon is well known. Ancient shamans ingested plants and drinks carefully prepared for the crazy, awe-inspiring trips, similar to today's LSD. Some of these recipes would have taken years to perfect, with many deaths, I imagine. Hallucinogenic imagery from the jungle was a major part of his cultural signature. Located high in the Andes, a site named Chavan de Juntas was discovered. With its sprawling network of tunnels, towers, and intricate stone carvings of supernatural animal-human hybrids, survives largely intact today. All inspirations for the buildings, structures and drawings are believed to have derived from the powerful use of drugs. Some carvings show a man's face morphing into a jaguar-type serpent, some weird ghostly combination of the two, while long strips flow from the figure's noses. Whatever these guys were on, I want some. The spiral is still perplexing to archaeologists this day, as they're not sure what it signifies. It could be related to hallucinogens, but then it might be related to other spiral phenomena such as whirlpools in rapids or the shape of various kinds of snail shells. The use of hallucinogens in early Andean worship is clear. It would have been a scary time to have been alive, with its disease, earthquake and El Nino storms, drugs gave them a way to understand phenomena that was way beyond ordinary comprehension. They wanted to gain power from the subconscious and use it to predict the future. It's likely that Chauvin had an oracular function. Some say the hallucinogens may have played a role in making predictions or explaining past events, and were certainly involved in the architecture. Stone spirals like those at Monte Grande coil up from the structures, with the logical interpretation that it represents a sacred ideology and the notion of travel between different realms of reality entwined into their rituals. Deep stuff, you might say, but this is how they lived. Like the hieroglyphs in the Egyptian pyramids and many other ancient buildings around the world, some drawings have been found to signify outer-worldly contact. To this day, scientists cannot explain the drawing with what is perceived to be aliens. These were worshipped as gods and held in high regard. Needless to say, Monte Grande and the surrounding areas with many other ancient civilizations truly leaves questions to be asked by future generations. What we cannot explain, we are enthralled with enthusiasm to investigate and hope to find the answers to the unexplained. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you like what you see, then drop a subscribe and check the video description for our community Discord link. I'll see you next time on The Unexplained.